another edition of Johnny Davis Live. We're here on this Thursday, November 19th, 2020. Guys, we're going to have a great conversation here today with TK King. Been knowing TK King. She's the owner of United Thai Boxing out of Durham, North Carolina. Been knowing her for quite a few years. Owner of the gym, does a great job, really passionate about Muay Thai and kickboxing, and also a smart cookie, right? So her perspectives and things like that were probably really interesting. You know me, Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real solutions. So we'll maybe get into a couple other things as well. We always want to thank our sponsors, WearWig.club and Eastern Offset Printing for all they do for us as well. You can get some great printing there. They're out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. Just look them up and give them a call. Be sure to check us out on Instagram and YouTube. Right? We are now streaming live on YouTube right this minute. So we hope to build up that YouTube audience as well. It should be a lot of fun. Obviously, all right. So he's here to me for the show. So that's what I'm saying. We talk about a lot of different things and all that. Well, to remind everyone, today is the deadline for the advance rate for our tournament this weekend in Florence, South Carolina with Mr. Walker Vivian. It's going to be IKF PKB sparring. COVID-19 protocols are going to be in full effect. Everyone must wear a mask. Everyone must get their temperature checked before they come in. I got a lot to say about that a little bit later. Guys, it works. Anyway, but we'll get into that just a little bit and kind of give you my perspective on why certain things are important. And in fact, if someone saw my post this morning, they might want to see that. They might understand that I'm a little frustrated as well, right? And I might maybe air a little bit of that frustration a little bit later about some of the things that are going on. And really, it's on both sides. It's with some of the gym owners and the attitudes that I might see or hear, and as well as obviously, some of the political figures who are not, who are maybe overkilling some of these restrictions and shutting down gyms and things like that. Shutting down a gym? We're the healthiest people on the planet. Anyway, that's another story. We're going to talk a little bit about that as we get into it. But right now, without any further ado, I want to bring up none other than Miss TK King. She's going to come on and chat with us a little bit about all the things she has going on with her gym. We have an event coming up there on December 5th. It's an IKF PKB sparring tournament and everything. And based on that picture and everything that you see there, we're going to say namaste. Ladies and gentlemen, none other than TK King. TK.
Hey, how you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing fine, Listen, I have a question for you right away, and it just came to me. It's just the way my mind works sometimes. TK King. Is there by any chance you can be some kin to Don King?
No. That's more like Martin Luther King instead of Don King.
Whoa, that's good company too. That's good. Is there any connection there?
I hear that my distant cousin might have been Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Man,
prove it though, but you know how family unions are.
Wow, oh my God, we learn real stuff here on Johnny Davis Live. We might have a relative of the King, that would be awesome in that case. Well, TK, talk to me a little bit. How's the gym going over there in Durham, North Carolina? Tell me a little bit about your gym first.
The gym is going great. So it's United Thai Boxing MMA gym in Durham. We're doing really well. I'm surprised. So we were shut down for like 6.5 months for COVID.
Yeah.
We ended up going.
Hold on, 6.5 months?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And you're still here.
I know. Amazing. I have great members. I have a great staff, great members here. And my fight team helped carry me through a lot of these times. We had outdoor classes. So we started doing classes in the park. Small group of people. But it's kind of got our cardio conditioning in. We were out there kicking trees and stuff. But it kept people going, kept people interested in it.
Right.
While we were doing Muay Thai in the park, a lot of people were shooting it on Instagram and stuff. So people started getting interested in it. So they started asking about our gym. And then when we started opening back up, we sent a mass email out to everybody who showed interest. And we started having people coming back, new people come into the gym. We still don't have probably about 55% of our members,
right.
our older members haven't come back yet.
Right.
But they're like we're going to wait till a vaccine is out there.
Right.
We get safe for one reason or another. A lot of people in the medical field or whatever. So
Sure.
there's no reason. So we're going to put the membership on hold. My fight team members did a fantastic job. They shot videos when we were completely down, no outside classes. They shot videos and they sent it to me, and we posted up on Facebook and Instagram. And it was just instructional videos. So everybody took a turn a day,
Right.
shoot a video and send it out. So then when we came back, we totally cleaned the gym. We got some. I was also on a lot of teams with the community.
Right.
So I was in the city of Durham. I was on also a group that it was a MMA fighters or gyms where we tried to give advice on what we should do to get the gyms back open.
Right.
So one of my
How was that going?
excuse me.
How was that going as far as the?
So like I helped provide a plan for MMA gyms to open back up because we're different than the fitness gyms. Like we
Right.
kind of up each other's face a lot.
Right. Right.
The governor, the mayor of Durham, he was like,
Right.
I want y'all to open, but help me out because I'm not sure about your
Right.
business. About it. So tell
Right.
me about it.
Right. Okay.
So, we did a plan for combat sports gyms, not just MMA, but all combat sports gyms.
Right.
And also a lot of different gyms, just general fitness gyms. And every week we met and we just hashtagged it out through the entire process when we were shut down, just giving advice, supporting each other, and we made it through. So
Right.
fortunately, some gyms didn't. Some of the smaller gyms try to give our support as much as possible, but luckily we were one of the gyms that made it through. So
Right.
now open back up in September, October. We're having great numbers, a lot of response from the community, people coming in, some people
Right.
showing support. So we've had fantastic numbers the last 2 months.
Yeah, some people that someone suggested, like I maybe sent me an email or something, wondering about, the event on December 5th, saying that there might be some threats of the fact that they might shut down again. Have you heard anything about that in North Carolina?
No, I haven't. The only thing is that they're just shutting down the social gatherings, right?
Right.
So social gatherings. So they're trying to shut down like large Thanksgiving and holiday gatherings.
Right.
But the businesses are staying open. So right now they do not want to try to shut down the gyms again. I kind of talked to the Chamber of Commerce.
Good.
And like they do not want to shut down the gyms. It was such a hassle last time. There's a lot of lawsuits going out. So that's something he doesn't want to do. So guys, please wear your mask. Wear your mask. Let's slow this thing down, and it'd be the betterment for everyone. For everyone, gyms, restaurants, everything, because they do not want to shut us down again.
Right.
But we just got to play it safe for a little bit, weather through the storm, and we'll come out.
What do you think about the gym owners who, feel that they don't have any responsibility in this? That, hey, I just want to run my gym. I don't care about wearing a mask. I don't care about temperature checks. I don't care about any protocols. What do you think about a gym owner that has that mentality?
Kind of hard because it's their own property, but when we're in business, we got to cater to the public. We got to cater to everyone. So we always have to err on the side of caution.
Right.
So even though I might feel a certain way about it, I might be mad at it's closing, but there's people out there that are literally dying from this. All right.
Right.
It's so serious, and some people are just very overly cautious about it. So I want to cater. Remember my gym who is, maybe an ER person or just taking care of their grandmother at home, and they're a little bit uncomfortable. I try to make it as comfortable for them as possible.
Right.
I go talk to them, and I'm like, "What do you need? What do you know? Like, what makes you uncomfortable?"
Right.
So I cater down to my lowest person, not lowest person, but
right. I get it.
Really uncomfortable.
The least of them, those with underlying medical conditions, those who might be a little bit more fragile and things like that. You're looking out for the least of them in that sense.
Right, because I'm serving the public here.
Right.
I want everyone to come into United Thai Boxing MMA, and I want to make it a safe environment for everyone.
Right.
At gym here, so our classes we're open up to capacity, and my coaches and my members, it's incredible. They come in with a mask. We temperature check at the door. We have hand sanitizer for them to put on. They come in, do all that, and they actually are taking classes with their mask on. That is so difficult. So the executive order states that if you go to exhaustion or it's hard for you to breathe, you can take your mask off. If they do that, then we say, just separate. Don't be within 6 feet of someone. Go over to the back. still do the same thing, but go hit the bag partner requiring people to please wear masks just for the safety of everyone. Some of my fight team members, they've been with each other all summer, but they did checks on each other. Like, hey man, don't be going out. Don't be that one person to bring it into the gym, and we all have to close down.
Right.
So everybody just checks and balances. But my members, nobody wants to be that one person. They're doing a fantastic job hanging in there, trying to work out as hard as they can with that mask on, just to be safe for everyone. And we're getting good training in still.
Right. You gotta, very, very good point. Seems like your camera there is breaking a little bit, kind of get a little choppy there. Somebody might, little things can happen. Like if somebody, like your Wi-Fi, somebody goes online or something and does something like that, sometimes that will affect your Wi-Fi there. So I heard everything you said, but it was just in the picture. You got a little choppy and everything, and you're absolutely right. Here's the great thing too, is that it seems like, and you alluded to this, that the people who are attending these gyms are really trying to be very responsible. Right? They're wearing their mask. You don't have to beat them up to put on a mask. You don't have to beat them up to do some social distancing and things like that. And that's what I like about the type of people that we're dealing with. For the most part, they're respectful of the gym and the policies and other people. You're finding that too, correct?
Correct. And like I said, it doesn't matter who they voted for, what kind of politics you believe in.
Right.
We're all doing it for our community. All right.
Right.
For our group. Like seriously, people are hitting depression states during this time.
Right.
This is their outlet. So
right.
Like TK, this is my church right here. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for opening this gym up. Thanks for keeping it open. I need this outlet. So we want to make sure that everyone has this outlet here in the gym, bringing their church and their sanity back. All right.
Right.
So so we're all joining together just to keep the gym safe for everyone.
Right. And I think you're doing it really, really smart and things like that. So, somebody told me something. I was speaking to a gentleman. I don't know him. He said that his kid was going to enter a tournament, never entered one before, but while he was training, he caught the COVID. Right. It's only a young kid, right? And he caught the COVID. And I said, well, what kind of protocols and stuff does your gym have? And he started telling me, he said, well, they clean a lot. That's not quite a protocol because you should be cleaning anyway, right? So it kind of threw me off, and I'm like, people have to get serious about this thing, and that's my little. I'm like, listen, don't be a spoiled brat, right? Listen. So what? Put on a mask. Doctors and nurses wear them all day. You can't put them on for a few hours, right? And stuff like that. So all I'm saying is, no, I don't agree with them closing down gyms or even attempting to, and stuff like that. But I also want to make sure that gym owners are doing their part. They have to do their part. If they don't do their part, this thing is not going to work out, and everybody gets, hurt by it. Indeed. Before we get too far gone, go ahead, TK.
It's funny you said that, is because what other gyms do also affects my gym. Right? Because if other gyms aren't practicing safety, then the word gets out. The mayor shuts down before the governor does.
Right.
The mayor's going to hear about it, and then they'll say all gyms shut down.
Right.
And it might be just a few that's doing it.
Right.
So I want to make sure that all gyms, at least, we need to be safe about this. At least have them come in with their mask on. Do baby steps if you need to, but we have to practice safety for all of us.
Right. Absolutely right. Like I said, because it could affect, and that's the part that gets me, is that this affects everybody. That's why, at our events, at my PKB events, PBS events, my East Coast Classic, for a fact, you were there in the Myrtle Beach. And I keep talking about Nurse Ratchet up there, Nurse Gridine. You couldn't come through that door without hand sanitizer. You couldn't come through that door without getting your temperature checked. That's just the way it is. And you got to be serious about it. What I noticed, DK, is that some people, they make up rules, but they don't abide. They don't push the rules. They don't set up a system to actually do the rules. I've been hearing about some fights that have been going on. They'll go there and almost copy and paste my protocols from my site. They don't follow them. They don't set up any way to follow those protocols or to make sure that they're adhered to, and all. And so that doesn't matter. right? If you're not going to actually make sure, when you say mask for everybody, that means mask for everyone, right? You know, when you say temperature checks by everyone, that means temperature, not a few of them, not people coming with cards saying, oh, I can't wear one. No, don't come. All right. You know, so we have to be serious about it. Let me take a quick moment to say what's up to Mr. James McClellan. Now, James, I guess he was a former student of mine and everything back in the day. And he's just saying hello. He's going way back there. James, he's all grown up there. James, hey, hello back to you, brother. I think I remember the name, right? But you know I have a lot of students, man. Wait a minute, James. Oh, is your mom Miss Cavendish? Maybe I do know exactly who you are. You look so, oh, you're so grown up now. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, TK. I know who James is. You know, but that's another thing about, you know, teaching, right? Is that, you know, we have choices in being a good example or a bad example, right? And I think one of the things for instructors is that we should be the best example for the greater good.
Right.
Right. And I think that's where we lose track sometimes. Some of us as trainers just think it's our job just to teach Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, whatever, right? But we smoke and we drink and we party and we don't follow guidelines and don't set up protocols to keep people safe. You know, for example, that is not a good example. That's not a good instructor, right? You know, tell me a little bit more about you, TK, and how you live and the examples that you put forward personally. Because in other words, you know, you can say, hey, wear a mask, everybody, but then when you go into a store, you don't wear your own mask. Is that the case? Or tell me, how do you keep that best example forward?
No, when I'm in the gym here, I always have a mask on. I walk into the gym, my front desk person, OP, he wears a mask. Every time we speak with someone wearing a mask, I'm always trying to clean up. I've taken advice from people inside the gym and for cleanup protocols. So while they're doing their classes, I might be spraying some sanitizer. I might be wiping down bags.
Right.
I switched up my equipment. So I wanted people to know that when they came back, that like I used to have carpet in here. Carpet just sweat and everything. It could be,
right.
I mean, germs and everything. So I got all new carpet. So when people came back, I want to say I got different matting down instead of carpet. So I want to do things that, show that, look, I'm trying my best to keep it clean here. I'm upgrading for you guys, and I just want to make it different and fresh for you. So I'm always trying to set that example, and especially with my kids' class. My kids even wear masks, right?
Right.
So, and you know, when I'm with them in class, my coach is instructing, we have a mask on just to be safe, and you know, we still have that sense of community. But yeah, so I'm always wiping down, and now, like when guys on the bags, they go and they spray and wipe down the bags, so they're a little bit more cautious too. And they see me doing it or our staff doing it, they're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. So you know, even after class, they're like, hey, TK, can I help clean off the mats?
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
That's what we do. So now it's just a lot easier, and we're all just taking care of each other.
Right. Well, again, you know, you've seen some of the events and stuff, like I said, that we've done. We have one coming up with you, a PKB sparring tournament on December 5th. Now, this weekend we're in Florence, you know, South Carolina, the 21st with Mr. Walker Vivian. But on December 5th, right, providing everything is still moving forward, nobody gets crazy, right? You know, we are going to move forward. Why? Because, and I will talk about this a little bit later, I'm on like fight number 370, right? Since like June, July. And we do our protocols, and no one has come back and said anything, right? About, hey man, I caught the COVID at your event. Hey man, I got sick, you know, well, because people see that we're serious. So tell us a little bit about December 5th and what we can expect there, TK.
Before I even say that, Johnny, I want to say you've done a great job, because
thank you.
When you started PKBs back up again, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't want to see my guys there. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what's going to be. And then you had the IKF in South Carolina, and I was like, ooh, guys, you sure y'all want to fight? They're like, yes. So I'm like, all right, if y'all want to fight, then I'm 100% behind you. I went down to the IKF in Myrtle Beach. Fantastic job. Your staff did a great job making sure everybody was checked. If I walked to the bathroom, I came back in, I can talk to them. They know I've been in there. Like, oh, okay, we got to check you again. We got to, you know, sanitize your hands again. Like,
Right.
great. And it was no issues.
Right.
Even when
Right.
people were back there warming up, everybody did a good job keeping their mask on,
Right.
and hand sanitizing. So fantastic job on that.
Well, thank you so
A
much.
lot more comfortable to continue on, especially to host my event here.
Well, let me just say this really quick. Let me interject there. And I really appreciate that because you're right. A lot of people were waiting to see what was going to happen to John. The thing was just a spread event. But at the advice of my doctors, and Dr. John Lucas, by the way, and I appreciate him so much. He's a rational guy. He's a doctor, but he's a rational guy. And he said, Johnny, if you do these things, you should be fine. I listen to him. I listen to Dr. Newkirk. I listen to Nurse Goodine, right? People like that. And Dr. Cordula, I've also spoken with her over the time. I've listened to people. And I pull nips and pieces from it to make my final decision to try to keep people safe. But in between all of no doctor is just going to say, hey, just walk out there, John. You don't need a mask. Hey, you don't need this. They're always going to give you the most, take the most precaution,
Right.
that. But you got to read between that and everything, and then kind of take that middle ground, if you will. But at the same time, try to do what you need to do to keep people safe. So I appreciate you and people like you for trusting me to know
Yes.
that I am serious about what I do. And I would not be doing this if I thought that it was spreading and making the virus, more, prominent, if you will. I
Right.
don't believe that. I have not seen that after 375. No one has told me that they even come close to any type of COVID. So what we do, we just keep, keep slicing off the possibilities by having protocols in place. Okay, as you were about your event on December 5th in Durham.
Yeah, so December 5th, we got our PKB here. We're going to have kickboxing as well as boxing.
Yes.
Last year we had this event. We had, Johnny, I was about 70 fighters.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Long day, but we had some fantastic fights here. We're trying to replicate that again. So come on in, and kids, bring your kids, right?
Yeah.
So it's when I first started going to PKB, there was a lot of kids participating.
Right.
And then now it's just switched over to a lot of adults. So adults started seeing the benefits of these PKBs.
Right. Right.
And now it seems like the kids is kind of slowing down a little bit. Let's merge it together. Let's have our kids come back again, as well as the adults. It's for everyone.
Right.
Let's have a great time doing this. Bring your kids out. We have some kids here that are ready to compete. All the other gyms, bring your kids out. If you're not sure if we have somebody to match you up with, just hit me up. Direct message me or send me an email at info@unitedboxing.com, and maybe we can try to match up kids. That's fine. So my adults seem to be good though. If you have any kind of questions, come on out. But it's a great event. We have drinks for you. We're in a shopping center, so we have plenty of food places around here, and we just have a good time. So for us, PKB is so important. I make sure that every one of my fighters, before you have a major event, you have to do some PKBs.
Right.
So
Right.
some people are like, I want to do the next lightning strikes.
Right.
You don't have any.
Nah.
All right, and this is like, and it seems silly, but it's a great way for one to check on their technique.
Right.
Because as Johnny always says, we hear it 1,000 times about points, not power. Right? Everybody, we joke about you saying that now around the gym.
Right. Right.
Somebody hits hard. Hey, points, not power.
Right. But it's an important message.
Right, but it helps you work on your technique.
Right.
Some people when they start sparring, they want to power hit, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power. You gotta really know your techniques.
Right. Right.
So, it gives my fighters a chance to work on their style, their technique, work on things. It's not even all about winning or losing, right?
Nope.
So
Nope.
things that you have a weakness in, come to your PKB and work on it. Right? That's how you get
You
better.
know what? I'm sitting up here thinking, I'm listening to TK. I gotta get TK on this show more. Hey, TK, you're great. you just line that stuff on. I like that. I think you know what? I know what's gonna happen. So some of these events, what I have, Derek, they're doing the commentary. I know for sure you're gonna have to help out with some commentary, right? I love what you're saying. Hey, look, our friend Crew Paul is on with us today. Yeah, Crew Paul. I mean, Crew Paul is one of our ardent supporters. She's also a PKB promoter. She's put some events, at least one event on the calendar for 2021 over in New Bern, North Carolina. Crew Paul is also very pregnant right now. She's very pregnant. Congratulations, Crew Paul, on your new member that is on the way. And I saw her kicking or doing something. She was doing, I think maybe, I don't know. She was still working out, man. She's got a bump. She's got a bump and everything, but she was out there doing her thing and everything. Crew Paul, she's got a bump. So she's one of those. Listen, and here's the thing. Let me talk about Crew Paul for a second. I finally had a chance to see Mulan the other night. Have you seen it yet, TK?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, it's awesome! It's an awesome movie, and and I said it a long time ago that they need to call Crew Paul to be the next Mulan. she would do great at that. She would be great at it. And who knows? Maybe in part 2, in the next movie. And Crew Paul, thanks for being on today. I certainly do appreciate it and everything. Tell us a little bit about the concept of the fact that the awards and things that we give the people at the PKB TK.
Yeah, so we have medals that we give out. We have trophies, and there's also a PKB Grand Champion belt.
Right.
These are great items to win. It gives you a little boost of confidence. So everyone comes away, and most people come away with something. But yeah, so come on in. We got some really nice trophies, and we have several lined up in our gym here. So just come on out.
Right. TK, do you actually help teach, or you just kind of run it?
I help teach also.
You help teach. I want to ask you a question about when it comes to, teaching. We have a lot of things going on in our climate and stuff like that right now. But I want to talk to you about how do you teach your kids to win gracefully? Do you have a strategy? Do you have a strategy for that?
So it depends. It kind of works in your practice, right? So for one, what we do is we have a community of kids where we have to make sure that we're all friends, right? So we always want the best for each other. Right? So when we come in, we make sure that we have a community of kids going on.
Right.
And so we try to push each other, all right? And when someone loses, like if they're just general sparring or even drilling together, and someone's just not doing well, other kid comes up and we make sure, hey, help them out,
right.
Get them uplift, or show them how to do it correctly, or help them, just make them feel good. So some of our junior or our senior juniors, they've been there for a while. They'll go over and they help the new people. They'll guide them on. Like it's a lot of encouragement. So I was like, it's okay. We're in this together. It's okay. You'll get it next time. Even when they're sparring in the ring, one person loses, and every now and then for kids, sometimes you might get hit and you start crying. All right.
Right.
So everybody come over and comfort them. It's okay. We'll get it together. So it's all about that community. And I always say, don't break your toys, right?
Right.
We don't want to break our play toys, right? We want that play toy to come back and just be.
You need to play toy. So it's about building. It's about being constructive as opposed to destructive.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And any one time someone is down or upset or gets hit hard, we all as community come around, as the kids, they all come around and lift each other up.
Right.
So then we get in the ring situation. They try to win for their not only themselves or their family, but also their gym community, their gym family.
Right.
So when they lose, we're all still gracious about it. It's still the kind of the same concepts. It's like they know that we're going to be there for them.
Right.
So if you lose, it's okay. We're still here for you. It's all about competing. And I really try to stress to my kids is that it's not about winning and losses. It's about having fun and competing, right?
Right.
I don't care if you lose every event, all right?
Right.
That's going to be on me anyway. It'd be my job to train you better or to work with you more, right? So don't take all that responsibility on your own.
Right.
I'm here for you, right? So if something happens, something not working right, I'm gonna look back at myself or my team, and we're gonna change things around. But just have fun competing. That thing about PKB is so important. You might not know, like a lot of people know they're not gonna go pro, right? Right. And some kids just aren't into it that much, but they just like it for fun. So PKB's giving that chance to get that competition out, all right, to see where they are. It doesn't count against your record if you want to be an amateur fighter. It doesn't matter, right?
Right, right.
But you're out there and having fun. So with my kids at PKB, they understand that it's all about having fun, all right? And since we have all these like little medals to give out, if they get something, then they're ecstatic.
Exactly.
They are ecstatic.
Right.
They don't care if it's a trophy or not. They're like, I got something, yay!
Right.
And they're happy for the rest of the day.
Right.
And then they go, and the grandmas are here, and the parents are here, and everybody's encouraging them and clapping for them and cheering them on.
Right.
And that just makes it so much better. Like, so some people are like, I just want to get in the ring, so I want to feel that yay, good, go for it, great job.
Right.
You know? And that just makes kids happy. And and all the coaches come up and hug you afterwards. And it kind of just makes them want to compete.
God, you're such an inspiration. I tell you, do they call you Mama TK?
Nah, just TK.
You seem to have a motherly approach to your gym ownership. And I know that a lot of parents must really appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, we're just a family here. I mean, I'm big on, I always play team sports coming up. And it's always about community and being together. So it's just a family, and we all are in it together. So I also remember sorority, and we're all one. We're all one,
Right.
And we're representing. So.
How important do you think the fact that you are teaching your students about the process and the grace that sometimes is needed to win or lose? How do you think that is going to affect them later on in life?
It's good because some people lose and they sulk in it and they can't get it out their head. They can't get away from it. All right. So we want to try again until we succeed. We don't want to lose and then just give up. Just give it up, throw away. It could be something that's meant for you to be. I mean, it could be meant to be. Just because you use your fight doesn't mean that you shouldn't fight anymore.
Right.
And so in life, the same way. We always hit with challenges in life. Right. A lot of things put us down, but you got to try again. Just got to keep trying. Got to keep pushing it until you achieve what you were trying to achieve. So don't let one obstacle get into your way. All right. So it's not about keep out the distractions. All right.
TK.
Keep out the distractions and
Right.
little losses along the way. Those are just little distractions. All right. And you just keep moving forward march. Right. You got to just keep moving.
Forward march. I want to ask you a question. I'm going to dig a little bit here. Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real solutions. Tell me something that you tried and you failed at it the first time, and then you came back and succeeded.
Ooh, something I failed at the first time. That's a tough one.
It could come from anywhere.
Man, I don't know.
Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real solutions.
So, one thing, soccer. So in high school, I decided to play soccer because all my friends were playing soccer. And I really didn't understand the rules that much.
Right.
So I went out there and I played, and I was like, I wasn't too good.
Yeah.
I was quick, but I wasn't really good with the ball. But it was all because, and I was like, Mom, this probably just not for me. All right, I played basketball. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to basketball and other sports I played. Soccer may not be for me.
Yeah.
But then I was in the middle of a game, and my coach taught me something in the middle of that game. I'm like, I got it. It clicked. All right.
Wow.
So it was halfway in the season, and he just told me something on the sideline that I just didn't know because I just wasn't really good with the rules of soccer.
Right.
The first time I played, I didn't play when I was like a kid, just started in high school. And it clicked. And from there, that day when he told me that, I literally scored 6 goals.
Wow.
I said, I got it. Now I have it. Right. And then after that, it just rolled on. But I could have quit a long time ago. Like, I got offered soccer scholarships, and I actually played basketball in college. But I could have just given it all up, but I didn't.
Right.
It just took that one time, and then I had it.
That's a great story. That is a great story. TK, you're such an inspiration to a lot of people I see. And just to be, and this is not to belittle, it's a great thing, being a woman, being, quote unquote, I don't like the word minority, but you understand what I mean.
Yes.
And being, and running a Muay Thai kickboxing boxing gym. I mean, that is amazing, and that you do it well. You and OP over there too. Tell OP I said hello, right? And everything. And but you're doing such a great job, I think, for the community and things. And so one of the things that I like working with people like you guys. You're good people, right? Who are trying to do good things for the sport and want to grow it in the right way. There's some wrong ways to do it. And some people try to do it the wrong way, smokers and doing other kind of things. That's a whole nother conversation. But the bottom line is that, but you're trying to do it the right way. And I appreciate you guys being a part of, the Johnny Davis enterprise, if you will, for so many years now, and looking forward to, a lot more events in the near future.
Definitely.
Right.
We're with you.
Well, any final thoughts, TK?
Come out, PKB, December 5th. Durham, United Top Boxing and MMA with a U. Yeah. It'll be a great time, great community. I've gotten a lot of feedback already for people saying that they're going to come down, compete, support us. Some people are going to be fighting for the first time. I'm excited to see them fight.
Right.
We have a good community here, so just come join us, and we look forward to you all. Encouragement. And also,
yes,
if you're a fighter that does not have a corner for some reason or another,
right,
come down.
Right.
Come down. So my team here, my fight team members would be happy to coach you, or one of my coaches would be happy to coach you in a corner. So don't feel that because you don't have a fight home right now.
Right.
You can't come on, we have you. We're going to take care of you. Also, I've seen a lot of Taekwondo, karate gyms are starting to participate. You can. It's not just straight Muay Thai. It's International Kickboxing Federation, IKF PKB.
Right.
Some of these kickboxers is kind of weird when you see that different style. So it helps as Muay Thai fighters as well as everyone else, because you have to learn to fight against different styles.
Right.
And you can take it out against each other.
And one of the things too, sorry, TK, one of the things too is, again, the semi-contact, there are no knockouts. Knockouts are not allowed. So it gives you the opportunity to slowly transition into perhaps a more competent style for yourself, if you will. Stuff like that. And so you're absolutely right in inviting more of the martial arts schools, because a lot of them who do the continuous fighting, I always have said this for many years, you guys really want to do the PKB. Right? Because, if you're doing continuous fighting, karate, rich back fist, rich hands and all that, no. Just turn it to a jab, cross, uppercut, hook. Hey, you're pretty much doing, poor kickboxing, poor Muay Thai. So I encourage, as you do, these gyms, and that's another someone to network out to as well, to get these people involved. And I also want to talk to you a little bit, about the PBSC a little bit more in detail, because what happens is that those are kind of the PBSC point boxing sparring circuit is kind of taking its own form, if you will. It's a totally different group that will come to that event. We're doing events over in South Carolina, and it's a totally different group, TK. I mean, it comes to that. So there's some opportunities there, and certainly we can talk about that in more detail and stuff like that. But, this has been so cool, talking to you and everything, and you did a great job. And again, I sent you some information. I will chat on that a little bit later and everything like that. But thank you so much, TK, for being on today, okay? Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Awesome. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking there, Miss TK King, she's awesome lady, great inspiration, great motivator and stuff like that. And that is exactly the kind of people that we like to work with. Again, she's having her event on December the 5th there in Durham, North Carolina. Remember, this weekend we will be in the Florence, South Carolina area with Mr. Walker Villian for a COVID-19 protocol PKB event. All right, guys, so I want to talk with you a little bit about the COVID-19. And I want to slow it down just a minute here and just have a little bit of a chat, because, it's kind of, showing its ugly head again. A lot of people are confused about what to do. A lot of people are upset and things like that. And I just want to have a little chat, if you will, about some of the things that that are going on, and some of my perspectives about it. And, some people agree, some people may not agree. But I think we need to have the conversation. I think the first thing that I want to say about the COVID is I respect the COVID. Now, I know that might sound crazy. Why would you respect the COVID? Well, I do. I respect the COVID. I respect the COVID because it is real. It has taken out a lot of people, right? And so when, like in a fight, if you have an opponent that you don't respect, you get knocked out, right? So the COVID is real. It exists. And this is why I think it's important for all of us to respect it, get educated about it, and see what we can do to move forward. The thing about COVID-19, and I'm going to call it what it is, COVID is a bully. COVID-19 is a bully. And what I mean by that, COVID attacks the weak, those that might have those underlying medical conditions, those who might be more frail. We get it, right? And we certainly don't want our precious seniors and those even with underlying medical conditions, whether it's their fault or not, to be taken out by the COVID. So we got to respect the COVID and what it can do. And we also at the same time have to be responsible to protect those that are more vulnerable, whether it's on their accord or not. And what I mean by that is being healthy and working out and, protecting yourself from certain, things, keeping your body as healthy as possible, eating right and all those things is a big defender against the COVID. So getting in shape, right, working out, even if you caught the COVID, for the most part, it would, in most cases, not take you out, right? So we recommend that you get in shape, that you work out, that you eat right, so that when COVID comes along. So that is a responsibility on every individual that can work out, right? Those people that can be more responsible, that can eat right, to, build up their immune system to fight the COVID. And that's my big argument about why gyms should not be closed down, right? For obvious reasons. But we have a responsibility in that as well. And one of the things that I've also said, I tried to remind people about the way I push the protocols at these events, is because when you are out in the public and you have these people that are coming to your event to support you, not knowing everybody's condition, right? You should try, as TK King just said, to support and protect the least of them when it comes physically or whatever the situation. So this is why wearing a mask is important. This is why temperature checks, they're important. Now, in saying all of that, I want to be clear about a couple of things. As I mentioned to and alluded to TK earlier, that gyms should not be shut down. In some places, they're considering, again, closing down the gym. To me, that makes no sense, as I alluded to earlier, that we are some of the healthiest people on the planet. So we have to fight against that part in the sense of saying, hey, put it out there. We are doing it. But gym owners, come on now. You got to set up some protocols. You got to make sure that you're following these things to make sure that we can keep everybody as safe as possible. So we won't have someone saying, well, I caught it at this gym, I'll call it that gym. We don't need that kind of negative stuff out there, right? And again, that's why I'm so serious about the protocols. We need all the gym owners to also be serious about the protocols. Be serious about making sure that you are protecting the people that are coming out and supporting you. That is vital. So if we all do that, it's going to get easier and it's going to get better for all of us, because we got to defeat this thing. We got to defeat it and not just wait on a vaccine, right? Because right now they're talking about, still, shutting stuff down and and all that, going back into a shutdown. We don't want that for our sport, and we don't want it for events or anything like that. Of course not, right? So let's make sure that we're doing our part. I would make myself available to whomever, whether the commission or other organizations or whatever, if they need me to speak with them about what we've done and how we've done it. I'm open to do that. And that's not being arrogant. I just want to make a point. And like TK said earlier, that she was afraid when I first started doing events again and people were nervous about it. Well, look, we're now 370 fights in. 370 fights in. And we've not had one incident of anybody saying, hey, man, I contracted the COVID at your event. No one. And by the way, I'm going to put myself on the spot. If someone has, please contact me. Go to my messenger, and if you felt like you caught something at one of the events, and we've had 370 fights since like June, July, contact me. My email address is johnnyd@akpromotions.org, right? You can message me on Facebook Messenger. I want to hear from you. To date, no one, not even close. So, but we're doing protocols. We're doing them, and they're working. So that is where I am with this thing. And this is why I'm fighting. So if anybody's out there saying, oh, well, he's being incompetent, oh, he's being a spreader, oh, he just wants to do events, wants to make money. Of course I want to make money. I'm a businessman too, but I also want to be safe. And I follow the advice of my doctors and my people. And so far it has worked out. Now listen, again, COVID is real. Protect those who are vulnerable. Protect those with underlying medical conditions. But at the same time, guys, we got to move forward. We have to move forward in this society to try to make, to try to stay productive, right? And to keep, people alive mentally as well as physically, because again, it does hurt really bad emotionally and mentally, psychologically, when you shut down everything and people can't do what they love, in particular, working out, right? So gyms are really important to this. So any government that's considering a gym, call me, guys. Call me. We'll chat, right? I can tell you what works. I can tell you how this thing, if you can still be competitive. Because listen, you can't get more intimate, if you will, than what we're doing in Muay Thai and kickboxing. I mean, we're over each other, we're clinching all that, and we have not had any issues. But again, before everybody walks in that door, the temperature's checked. And if they're at a certain point, they can't get in, period. No questions. Everybody's sanitizing all day long, goggles being worn, things like that. So I just want the government, who I can't hardly get to understand that the gym owners out here, that we care, event promoters like myself, care. That I didn't say everybody did, but I know I do. And we want to keep our sport moving forward. Just like the nail shop, the barber shop, and these other places that you are allowing to stay open, we want to be open the same, right? We are following protocols, right? We're protecting the mamas and the daddies that come in there, and those that can't should not come in there. We're protecting all of our students, as well as the spectators, as well as the fighters, competitors at our events. This is important, and I understand it. So all I wanted to say was that I just wanted to kind of get more detail into this COVID-19 and this my ideas about it, because sometimes people feel like, oh, you're just looking over it. Oh, you don't care. Couldn't be farther from the truth. I 110% care. But I also wanted to understand it, as I have come to understand it better, about how we can defeat it. We can defeat it with masks. We can defeat it with those temperature checks and the sanitation and the washing of hands, and yes, in some cases, social distancing. But we don't need to shut down. We need to just continue to move forward with the precautions in place, with the protocols in place. And you businesses out there who want to fight and say, I don't want to do anything, that's lazy in my opinion. That's also incompetent in my opinion. And again, I'm not trying to get any fans here. I'm just telling you my opinion. If we have to do this to stay open and to stay active and to stay, do you know the people that came up to me with tears in their eyes, just so thankful for the fact that we'll continue these events when everybody else almost in the industry has shut down? People were like, literally, I can't believe we're doing it. I can't believe it. And they go and they had a great time and no one got infected. And they really are happy about that. That is sanity for these fighters who are training, who want to do this. So as a promoter, As a businessman, I have a responsibility. If I'm going to do it right, not half-ass it, to do it right, to try to keep people safe. So I'm going to do that in my company. If it's a PBSC, PKB, or the Point Muay Thai, or whatever, East Coast Class, Full Contact, the Georgia Classic that's coming up, whatever it is, you can rest assured, if the local government is allowing us to do it, we're going to do it as safely as we possibly can, right? And so I encourage you guys to continue to plan to come. Everything is forward march until we're told otherwise. Everything is moving forward until we're told. You can't argue with the basic, if you want to say science is real, and it is, you can't argue with, we've had 370 fights with people all over each other with no incidents, no known incidents. And again, somebody would tell, that's hard to argue. That we are a front line, at least I am in this case, and my officials are front line people in the sports industry, if you will. We're not medical, but in the sports industry, we're kind of front line because we are out here in the middle of it. Every weekend, I'm around hundreds and hundreds of people. They're masked, but I'm around hundreds of spectators and fighters almost every weekend, right? They're masked. Their temperatures have been checked, but we're still around them. So we know that it must be working. It has to be working. Yeah, we're hoping for the vaccine, and we're hoping for it really, really soon. But in the meantime, guys, let's practice the things that we need to do to keep our businesses open. Wear that mask, do those temperature checks. It doesn't take anything to go and get one of those little guns and take a temperature. How hard is that? It's lazy if you don't. I'm telling you right now, because I was saying earlier when somebody was telling me that their kid caught COVID at some gym, nothing to do with me or anything like that, that when I asked them about the protocol, would they clean the gym? That is not a protocol. You should be cleaning your gym anyway, right? So checking someone's temperature, if they have a temperature, mama always told me, if you have a temperature, you're contagious, right? So that's a big part of it. We know about being asymptomatic and all those other things and all these other things. Well, we get that, right? You know, that is, but the more you can eliminate the possibilities, just like in the fight world, right? Why we have physicals, why we do exams, why we have doctors check, we're just trying to eliminate some of the possibilities. And when we do that, right, the chances of things happening are limited. That's where we are, and that's what we do. We want to continue to do that. So I just want to let everyone know who supports our events, who's thinking about registering for some of the events, that when you come, we have protocols that we are following, and we are serious about them. So invite your family and friends. You know, as long as they're willing to follow them, we're going to continue to move forward, respecting the COVID, but understanding that we are healthy, we're in great shape. We are again, you know, people who defend our natural abilities in a process of working out every day, right? Being in shape, eating right, is a defender against the COVID. That is what I've learned over this time period, right? And also, I'm encouraging you guys to continue to work out, continue to eat right, and all. But let's enjoy life. Let's keep moving forward, and all. And I think we're going to be okay. And yes, let that vaccine come on. It cannot get here fast enough. All right, guys, that's my 2 cents on the COVID-19. Now, as you well know, right, what's coming up next for us, other than some PKB tournaments, you know, the IKF Georgia Classic is in progress right now, guys. We're encouraging you to become a part of that event. It's going to be a full contact event in Columbus, Georgia, right at the Columbus Convention Center. Men, women, and children will be competing under COVID-19 protocols, but in full contact action. They'll be fighting for championship belts and nice cups and all that. Registration is going actually pretty decent right now, right? We are right now in the process of opening up divisions. Right now, you can choose any division you want, any rule style, any weight class, or whatever. Right now, you can choose that. That's listed. We only have 4. We have international rules, we have unified rules, we have modified Muay Thai, and we have full rule Muay Thai with elbows. So you can choose anyone, any weight class, up until November 23rd. After the 23rd, though, you can only register in a division that's there. So right now we have right at 45 or 50 divisions, which is good because we only have 4 people in each division. And if we have 4 people in each one of those divisions, right, that's already about 160 some fighters. That's simple math off the top of my head, right? So get registered right now at akpromotions.org. We're moving forward with this tournament. We're putting together a great event for you, and unless something stops us out of our control, right, then we're going to be moving forward. But then we're going to let you know that as well. And then I just sent in the contract, even though we had the date on the calendar, for our March 19th and 20th event in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for the Spring Classic, right? So that's just right past January, right? So we have events, and we have some more things that we're working on in some other regions across the country. So no one loses money when you're working with me, so you don't have to worry about that. So I would say with confidence on what we know for the moment, move forward, right? Get registered. Let's have a great event. Let's plan on attending. Like I said, on this Saturday, we're in Florence. We're going to have a great tournament there. Great registration is already taking place and all that. So I encourage you guys just to plan to, come out to these events. We'll be posting the timeline of everything for the Georgia Classic in the coming days, about what times things are going to take place to weigh in. We also have the PKB that's also going to be a part of that tournament as well. That will be happening on that Saturday morning, right? So that information will also be posted. I think some of it's already out there. So a lot of reasons and everything to plan to come to the Georgia Classic. It's going to be a great time, a lot of fun for people, and I think it's something you're going to want to be a part of. I think it's going to help change, Georgia. There's a lot of things that are going on in Georgia, and particular sports that are not happening like it should, in particular Muay Thai and kickboxing. We want to make sure that we have our events there and that we do them the right way. We keep everybody safe, right? And so that people can have an outlet to, to show their skills and stuff like that. Listen, okay, all right, so we're going to move on. I've been thinking about this lately, that I was going to start showing a little bit more of some of the past events that we've done. So what I'm going to do as I close out this show here, and only have a few minutes, but this is this video that you're getting ready to watch right now are some of the past events that we did over in California, right? And while I'm trying to explain to people that we've not reached that level yet over here. We have not reached the level with the events over here that we have had over in California. So I want to try to inspire and motivate people on some of the events that we've done. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play a little bit so you guys can see some of the events that we've done in other areas. I'll stay on the screen and you can check it out. This only takes a few minutes. We would have the National Guard come for the national anthem. That's me. Yeah, our skin event. This event was also at the DoubleTree Hotel. As you can see, it's a packed house. Most of those events kind of sold out. And this was like in 2010, 2011, years ago. So right now we're still rebuilding for these events over here in the Southeast and across the country. Have nice walkouts. I think that guy's on a C-shirt. If I remember, you see some fighters that maybe mention their names here as well. Right, those some good fights, the guys. I mean, this is like 2010, 2011. Now, you notice the guys here don't have on headgear because there's a rule in the IKF after you have 3 fights, you don't have to wear headgear and singles, right? So that was one of the things I used, and I'll use it again over here, not for the tournament, but I will certainly use it for the fight nights and things like that. When you have over 3 fights, you have a choice if you want to take off your headgear and singles. And for all of my fights over there kind of look like 4 fights because I promoted so many fights that most of the guys had well over 3 fights. This is TJ Archangle. He was trained by Sam. And this other fighter here is like undefeated. I can't remember his name right on, but he's a really good fighter. Although, in my personal opinion, if I remember this fight correctly, I don't necessarily think he won. He did win this fight over TJ. He was like undefeated. I don't know if I agree with that decision. I guess I can say that now. I thought TJ kind of was. You can see TJ's very defensive. Throws a lot of nice defensive techniques, and he was all about it, man. He was so technical. Sam did a good job with him. You also see Bam Stale in the middle. Bam is chief position for the IKF. And this young man right here is Gaston Balanos. Gaston is one of the top Muay Thai. This is one of the I think he is Muay Thai fighters in the country. He's actually taking on Daniel Hodges. That's right, the Hitman. Daniel is also one of my PKB reps today. This is a great fight between these two guys. And actually, they fought to a draw on the first fight. And then on the second fight, Daniel actually beat him, actually gave him a TKO. Gaston is one of the most renowned Muay Thai fighters. He's fought internationally around the world. Daniel mostly fought in Thailand and in the United States. He's just a strong fighter. Really tough. You see, he's just rugged. He's just rugged. Really good. He got strong with nice Muay Thai techniques and everything there as well. But look at the crowd. These are the kind of crowds we used to pack into our arenas, whether we were having at the hotels, event centers, and things like that. But we were very serious. Look at our ring announcer, Wayne Wilson there. Blast from the past right now, showing you some of the past events, guys. This right here is actually John Pryor. John Pryor was great little fighter trained by Mr. Cedric Robinson over there in Sacramento, California. They started out with a lot of Taekwondo. I think they were with the Ernie Reyes with the West Coast karate type things, but he transitioned really well and really good kicks. You can see the technique that he's going to throw in his hands, right? He was kind of like the boxer Aaron Pryor, with the hands. Look, I mean, he would just pound. And he actually ultimately won a world championship in the amateur. So, look, he was a good little fighter. He was tough as nails. Cedric did a good job with him. We were also filming it. Now, Mr. Ingram, I think is, I almost said James Ingram, but that was the singer. IKF, obviously, all of my events are IKF. We've been together for over 20-some years now. Great spectrum body. And our ups and downs, peaks and valleys, that's what it's all about. So anyway, guys, I just want to give you a quick idea about some of the stuff that we've done in the past and some of the shows that we are going to be bringing back to the area, whether it's through me directly or through some of the promoters that I'm working with. We have a lot of experience at putting on big shows. So if casinos or places like that want to, bring some big shows, we have a huge network of fighters and some promoters across the country. And so we certainly encourage you to give us a call and everything. We would love for you to, have our events at your casino or your facility and all, and we're insured company and everything, so we can certainly look at bringing that to you. Before I close out the show today, we have a young lady here that came on. She wrote a lot. She said, Johnny, I'm not sure that all gyms are certainly the ones I know of are using the CDC protocols of mask and social distancing. If you can do something about this in your communications, I'd appreciate it. There are more and more children without underlying medical conditions are entering ICUs and the multi-system inflammatory syndrome of children. Yes, right, associated with the COVID. Be well. Yes, and we are. I'm aware of that, Ms. Catherine Woodridge. Yes, I've heard that some kids are, having some conditions associated with the COVID. And I don't know how rare that is. I certainly hear that is happening. But is it enough to shut down an entire industry? I think that's the big question. And I think that as we look at the mobility rate of the COVID, which is, don't get me wrong, we've lost 250-some thousand people in respect to all of those families and all. But the mobility rate still remains a little bit low in comparison to the millions of people that have caught it. That's all what I mean by that. So yes, we want to make sure that we are looking out for the kids, and we're looking out for the seniors, and we're looking out for everyone, right, who's involved with it. This is my point. However, there is a healthy community out there who I think can still exist Miss McKenna, and still move forward and doing things productively, and also while looking out for other people out there. Right, that's all I'm saying. There's going to be issues. There's going to be things that are going to come along. We know that, but we need to do the protocols, and we need to do them strongly. I mean, if you have situations where kids that are in gyms or participating in events and they have gotten sick as a result of that, then I would love to know more about that. I certainly would love to know more, but not just just out there, whatever. What is the practice of their family? Are they wearing masks? Do they, really, watch where they go, and are they in, all of those things. So there's a lot of underlying conditions to someone getting COVID as well. Okay, so we want to talk about all. We want to try to better understand that, and we have to take every situation for what it is. And people might have these individual situations where they might have to be in certain situations, or maybe not. So yes, there are kids that have this condition, and they are that are around the COVID. We get it. Want to know more about that? We don't know that much about that yet, but we are learning as we go. We move forward on what we know best here at the moment. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching Johnny Davis Live today. We always want to thank our sponsors, Wearwig.club and Eastern Offset Printing out of Atlantic Beach, North Carolina. I still encourage everyone to please wear your mask. Respect each other. Always forward march. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.